In October of 2025, I invited everyone to come onto my Minecraft map and ask whatever they want, completely anonymously. Over the course of the next 3 months, we managed to gather hundreds upon hundreds of questions. Some were pretty similar to others, so we have grouped them into their various categories. But without further ado, this is Los Perrito. And these are the questions that were asked. So here's how it's gonna work. Some of these questions are lighthearted, easy. Some are not. We're gonna answer every single one of them to the best of my ability. I will give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So let's get into it. I'll admit, there isn't one single answer to this question. The vast majority of you guys do not know this. But this map isn't the first iteration of Los Perrito. It isn't even the second. Hell, it's not even the third. Los Perrito, in some shape or form, has been being worked on for the last 7 years. November 28th, 2018. The map you know of as Los Purto today was constructed October of 2022. A full 1.5 years before the first public version would ever come out on CurseForge. Hell, it was a full 7 months before the first ever YouTube video about it came on. This was what Los Perrito looked like in its infancy. Slowly and surely, the Los Perrito you know and love today was formed through careful work, hard dedication, and oftentimes by taking long breaks. So yeah, it's been in construction for about 3 years if you're counting the map, but the idea has been in construction for 7 years. Next question. Before we tackle this question, I want to ask a question of my own. What shape is this building? I'll give you a second to think about it. Got it? Okay. If you said a square, you're correct. Okay? It has 4 sides, 4 90-degree angles, that's a square. No abstraction, no bullshitting, no critical thinking required, that is a square. But let me ask you another question. Is this a square? I mean, it's a representation of a square, yes, but it's filtered by Minecraft's blockiness. Minecraft, as a voxel-based video game, can only really display a square if it's perfectly facing north, south, east, or west. It can't conceive of a tilted square like this one. However, that of course doesn't deter most city builders. People will still build curves, diagonal buildings, all of it. Why? Because it looks good. That looks like a city more than Los Perrito could ever look like a city, for that simple fact. But those city builders build their cities with quite a different perspective than me. And it's this. Those cities are meant for humans. They're meant for human travel, human transport, human walkability, question mark. And the simple fact is that Los Perrito is not. Los Perrito could not exist as a real city because it is a Minecraft city. It is meant for a Minecrafter. That's why you got signs telling you not to drink potions and drive. The suspicious stew epidemic. This city is meant to be inhabited by Minecrafters. It's also the reason that my block palette is the way it is. I won't ever use snow blocks or black concrete in the construction of buildings. I'll stick to more realistic and muted colors, white concrete, smooth stone. This city, bottom line, is just meant to be inhabited by Minecrafters, hence why I did the grid design. Now of course, there are some spots where I didn't do the grid design, and yeah, I think it makes it more special. But I think I've answered this question as best as I could possibly do. I think it's time to move on to question number 3. won't bore you with all the nitty-gritty, all the unnecessary details. The short answer is yes. There are Easter eggs in this city, hundreds of them. I live in the United States of America, and as such, I happen to be a big fan of pop culture. And there are tons of pop culture references in this city. You just haven't seen them. This map is meant to be looked at deeply, intensely. I made a video a few months back detailing some of the secrets, but that just scratches the surface. There are many Easter eggs, some of which I will share with you right now. The Callister Hotel, a nod to the Black Mirror episode, the USS Callister. John's Super Fun Time, a nod to the Scotland-Glasgow incident with Willy Wonka and the Unknown. Electrum Prismantis, a fancy restaurant I made after watching the movie The Menu. The O'Driscoll Factory, a reference to Red Dead Redemption 2 and the O'Driscoll Boys gang. Those are just the tip of the iceberg as to the Easter eggs that this map offers you. I implore everyone who's watching this video, take the time, explore, find. Next question. The simple answer is 3. Me, Uospag Ospaghettios, the project lead, designer of exteriors, the lore guy, and other stuff. My girlfriend, Josette, helper of interiors, the reviewer of YouTube videos, city planner. And our final helper, Armored Carton 60, Ryan Lad 5, hugely responsible for the initial creation of the earlier versions of Los Perrito. I was gonna go on some long tangent, some powerful message about how teamwork is the dream work, but I've concisely answered this very lighthearted question. So let's move on to the next question, and this one is extremely controversial. There are 3 reasons why you will not find a religious building in Los Perrito or anywhere in the map. Reason number 1, I myself simply did not grow up religious. It wasn't a part of my life, and therefore I didn't put it in Los Perrito. Reason number 2, I could never do any single religious building justice, short of actively researching it for hours on end. If I tried to build a church, a mosque, a synagogue, a temple, or anything like that, I know for sure I would mess something up. And the third reason, by far the most controversial reason, is that I want this city to be inclusive of everyone. So how does one do that by not building any religious buildings? Los Perrito as a map has been played by people all over the world, way beyond the United States. And while the architecture is United States based, I want the views of this city to be open to anyone for their own interpretation. And in that sense, I personally believe that it is better not to send any message than to send a specific message. For example, if I only built a Christian church, it sends the message that my city is meant for Christians. The same with a mosque, a synagogue, or a temple, or anything else. The bottom line really is that religion just isn't a big part of my life. And leaving no religious buildings in Los Perrito allows anyone who plays it to build maybe their own religious buildings, put their own story and own views through Los Perrito. If I were to build a church, it would be for a completely fictional religion, like the Church of Steve or the Suspicious Stew Temple. But other than that, I will never build a religious building, a real-life religious building, in my city. That was an intense question. So let's have our final question be a little bit of a palate cleanser. A super lighthearted, super fun topic, and a super easy topic to talk about. Let's talk about money. I can't be so egotistical as to gloat about money. I mean, last time I checked, Los Perrito doesn't even make that much money. Almost nothing. The answer is $242.11 over the course of a whole year, split up by 3 people. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I never even did this city or my YouTube channel ever for any amount of money. I never thought this city would make a single cent. And honestly, I was satisfied that way. I didn't want it to, really. But CurseForge has a rewards download program. It's pretty cool. My map got a lot of downloads, and CurseForge wanted to pay me, so I was like, money please. And now every few weeks, I can buy myself a chocolate bar. So I guess it was like maybe like a little bit worth it, like 2 years of like 7 years of effort for like a chocolate bar every few weeks. I mean, that's pretty worth it to me. Damn, that was a personal ass question. Ooh. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the Los Perrito official Q&A video. I honestly did not expect we would get so many questions submitted. It was super cool to read through all of them, see what people had to say. Unfortunately, a lot of them couldn't make it into this video because they were very weird, and I was very uncomfortable by them. But that's cool. We answered some of the cool ones, some of the light ones, some of the heavy ones. We just answered a really fucking heavy one. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna wrap up today's video. Happy holidays, happy New Year's. I will see you guys all in the next video. Boing! Oh, I forgot to advertise my map. Play my map!